there is no correct answer for that. So I'll tell you why. If you have done bachelor's, let's say in statistics, mathematics, or like you have branches these days like IoT, AI, in that case, no, you don't need the experience because you already would have done some projects in your during your curriculum, or you would have gone through such courses which will help you get the job. But in case for me, like who was not from such branch, I think that the training that I mentioned that I took during TCS, right? It helped me set up the foundation, and then the hackathons and the small experience that I got from there, I used that to build my experience and then switch into analytics and data science. So you might have to do something extra if you're not from CSIT or mathematics statistics background to get a job into analytics is what I feel.
Thank
But
you, ma'am.
it may differ from people to people. Everyone have their own journey. So yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? Cool. I think then I'll move to the next slide. Meet, can you click on next? Yep. So as Manvi mentioned about the skills required, so I'll firstly talk about the tech skills that you need. So Excel, the most underrated, I feel, but it's one of the most important. All your friends who would have done MBA or are about to go and do MBA, they are going to work the most in Excel and PPT, right? So you need Excel. Then you need SQL, as I mentioned. SQL is something that I started learning the day I started my career in 2016 and still till date using it. So SQL is one of them. And then you have your Power BI Tableau. So it's not specifically a tool. Any dashboarding tool in general works for a data analyst. But if you want to build a career in a specialization in a specific tool, then you might have to go in detail. Like I know my friends who have done certification in a specific dashboard tool like Power BI, and then now they are like companies wherein they handle only Power BI work. So that's also a good role you can explore. And then once you move from descriptive analytics to predictive analytics is one comes when you have to know Python and R, Python or R, depend on company. In RBL Bank I used to use R, but then from that I have always used Python only. So it again differs, but yeah, I think Python is the more versatile one is what I feel. Then if I have to talk about other skills that you need apart from the tech skills. So first is statistics. How many of you know about A/B testing? Can do anybody knows? Cool. I'll give you a small example. While I was working with Razorpay, so Razorpay, you all know it's a payment gateway, right? You get the option to pay with Razorpay, and you get different payment option like UPI card, net banking. I was part of the EMI team, and we want to run an experiment wherein we want to see if we place our EMI as a payment option above net banking, then do we see our conversion rate increasing, or what is the impact on overall customer journey or overall conversion. So if we want to run this experiment, we can't just go live on 100% population and then conclude the results. What we do is we use some statistical theories like A/B testing, wherein we run our experiment on half of the population and on the other half we don't run it on the population, and then we observe the result from both the set of samples, and then we conclude. So these are like A/B testing, null hypothesis, normal distribution. That these are also, if you want to prepare for an analytics interview, these are the topics that you should cover under statistics. So these are the things that you should know, right? These are basic statistics, not very high level, but yeah, basic statistics thing. And then comes your domain knowledge. So as I mentioned, I am like someone who have worked a lot on fintech and banks, but yeah, for freshers I totally agree it's not relevant. But once you are like 4 or 5 years experience, it plays a very important role. So today, like if I am getting any call from a bank, and if I say, okay, look, so I am not interested as of now, but I have a friend, someone who I want to refer to, they ask me, do they have experience in bank? If not, won't consider it. So once you're 4 5 years experience, your domain matters if you want to switch, right? And then machine learning is something. So like machine learning is also very vast. Like you have some basic algorithms. I won't say basic, but foundational algorithm like linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, and random forest. So like if you really want to start data science journey, you can start with these algorithms and make your concept very strong. Other all things will come accordingly, like XGBoost, Or if you want to go into like the phase of deep learning, that is a very different topic. I'm not talking about advanced machine learning over here. I'm talking about a basic, like these four which I mentioned are the basic algorithms, which you should also know the maths behind those algorithms, not just to code. I have also linked some resources over here. So the Coursera, you would be knowing the course by Andrew Ng. It's one of the best courses available in the market. If you are interested, you can do that. Yep. Coming back to the skills that I was mentioning. So problem solving, again, you need that. So whenever you are going to give an interview in data analytics, after first round of technical interview, there would be another round of business case studies, wherein they will try to see that how you can think or how vast you can think. For example, so I got placed in Google 2 months back, but I also gave interview with Google 2 years back. When I was giving at that time, I got rejected after 2 3 rounds. So the case study they asked me was that suddenly one day we are seeing spike in the sale of Google Pixel phones. So now you tell me what went wrong, whether it was a normal activity or was it a fraud activity. So now, as like I was the one who was giving the interview, so I have to now think what all data points I need to collect, and now what all questions I need to ask the interviewer to make it more clear. Like I asked her, at what location was it in one happening in one location, or you were seeing it from multiple locations. So these are very critical part of your interview. The business case studies, you will find them a lot. They are online these days, and it help you structure your answers, like what all data you will collect and how you will proceed, right? It matters a lot. And like I think this is the second or third round after the tech round, which decides whether you are getting the job or not. Now if so I'm going to share this presentation with all of you after this session. So I thought to help you all, I'll just link some of the important references which actually helped in my career. The first is Data Camp. Data Camp is a, you would, I think some of you might know over there. The best part is if you want to learn a language, they give proper hands-on experience with the entire course. So I actually learned R and Python from here. Then you have, as I mentioned, Andrew NG course I mentioned for Coursera. There are other good courses there. Then I have also mentioned some of the YouTube channels that I found very interesting and very helpful. StatQuest, Krish Nayak for machine learning, Ankit Bansal for SQL, Alex the analyst for in general analytics roadmap and all. And then you have some open resources like Kaggle Analytics Vidya to read about what's new in analytics, to participate in certain competitions. There are some companies who put their competitions over here, and then they hire the top participants or the winners from here. And then basically to practice your SQL or interview questions, I have mentioned last two resources also. So if you are interested, do go back and check these links. They have helped me in my career, and I hope they help you too. Any questions on the skills part, and then we will move ahead.
Ma'am, I have one question. Like you have mentioned about the interview in Google.
Yep.
So does they ask you DSA or they ask you machine learning related stuff only?
Yeah, yeah. So again, that's a very good question. So there are different family of data scientists within Google. So one is your proper uh, data scientists, which are like research data scientists or staff data scientists. To them, DSA is being asked because they might be building a product out of machine learning for which they need. But I am part of business data scientists. So there is another family of data scientists, which is business data scientists and product data scientists. They are more towards doing analytics plus data science. To us, the questions were limited to machine learning and not to DSA. Any other questions? I feel like a lot of you are more interested into Google than any other part of my journey. But let me tell you, Google is Google was just outcome of the journey that I had. I still feel I had very nice experiences out of Google. Like it's been just 2 months though. I cannot judge in 2 months, but yeah. Yep. I'll quickly then move to the next slide. So is my screen visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
So now come the question. Now is the question you should have asked me that what should we do, but let me tell you what you can do, right? So if I have to talk about from where you can search jobs, you all know LinkedIn, you all know Naukri.com, right? But the main point is you need to keep these profile updated, especially for Naukri.com. You can always keep your resume updated. Please have it for one page. You all are freshers. You can make your resume in one page and keep updating your profile. And also for the case of LinkedIn, not just keeping your profile active and not just applying for jobs, you should also email your mentors or email the alumni that who are working in the company where you aspire to go. You cannot just no, you need not to go and ask them for referral. You can go and say, okay, I have made this resume, can you please review that for me? I know out of 50 messages that you send, you will get reply maybe from only 5, but trust me, that will help you. So I'll shortly tell you my story. So before joining Google, if you know about NPCI, the Indian company which actually built UPI, and I really wanted to go there, right? So I started messaging people on LinkedIn that okay, I'm really interested. Can you please review my resume? I just used to send this message that I'm really interested in working in NPCI and I have crafted my resume in that way. Can you please review? And within 2 weeks, I got a call from a recruiter from NPCI that we have a opening. But I think but that needed number of experience less than 4 years, and my was 7 years, and that is the case we have to drop off. But I was really happy that actually I got a call just by reaching out to people, because they now had my CV and they would have seen any opening and they just shared, okay, you can consider this profile. So it really helps. Actually, or and even when you apply on portals like Naukri.com, and they have a lot of third party HR, direct you will not find a lot of company HR but third party HR. Once your CV is circulated a lot, now you will automatically get a lot of call. And this is what happened with me, just because I've switched like in 1.5 year, 6 months, 9 months, and because of that I was always updating my these portals wherein from wherever I was applying. And then finally that is the reason till today, like in a week I get at least 2 calls from for interview, and I have to now say no, I'm no more looking for jobs, just because my CV is circulated or to all the third party HR, because they don't hire for just one company, they hire for multiple companies, multiple positions, right? So these are some things. And for you to get the call, it's important to have a good resume, guys. Please make a note of this. Make a good resume. By that don't mean that fill it up with everything. Keep the relevant points, and also use sites like Canva or something like, to make it a little more presentable. And then the cover letter comes. So what happens is, let's say you want to reach out to me, you don't know me on LinkedIn or anything, but you know my email ID. So how you will reach out to me? You can then just write a paragraph about you, right? That you are graduate from this college this year, you have done this courses, and you are interested in this field. Kindly please look into my resume attached. So for someone to go and click on your resume, they will first read the para, and if they found no paragraph and only the attachment, they will not read it. So just have a good cover letter and even reach out to people on emails. That also helps. And then comes the networking part. uh, to this I want to highlight that have authentic relations. Don't reach out to people just for the sake that you want to take help from them, but have a give and take relationship with everyone. Even so what happened with me is, Tata post. Since he resigned and he was leaving, he referred me to his position, and then from there I got selected. So I never thought that someone who was in my branch I really talked to, he will help me one day to get a job, and that will actually change my entire career, right? So be good to people, be kind to people, help people, and one day you will get it back, is what I feel. So have authentic relations, not just with your branch mates, but also like with your seniors, with the people who have already passed out. Reach out to your alumni. I know a lot of from SATI who are doing really well in their fields, right? So reach out to them, they will definitely help you. Now comes the question, like, if there would be some of you folks, I thought that who would not be looking directly for a job but maybe a master's, so that they build their foundation more strong and then move to jobs, right? So for them, I listed some of the courses that I personally have gone through the curriculum and felt they are like outstanding. One of them, as I mentioned, is ISI Kolkata. So they have their this masters in statistics. It's a very good course. If you want, you can start researching about it from your third year, because in during your final year you will have to give this exam to if you want to start it just after that. And you can go through their placement report and everything. It's good according to me, but do check that. Then you have your PGDBA. How many of you folks in the call do you know about this course? Come on guys, Google करके full form बता दो. Cool, no problem. So it's postgraduate diploma in business analytics. It's a 2-year course run by IIM Calcutta, IIT Kharagpur, and ISI Kolkata, focused on data science and analytics. It's India's top course, and I know the intake is very less. They just have 50-60 seats. I think you can check again what's the latest stats. I am not aware of, but it's a brilliant course. I wish I would have done this, but I was so busy in switching that I did not get time to study and give exams. The next is, if you are planning to do a MBA, you can also consider doing it in business analytics, like you do it in marketing, finance. These days, business analytics MBA are also booming a lot. You can check that. And even if you want to go outside India and do a master's in AI/ML, that is also a very good opportunity. Like personally, I know my husband is currently doing masters. He's doing though part-time masters from UT Austin AI/ML, but before that he actually had a full-time offer from University of Toronto, which has a very good MSc AC program. But due to some kind of something he cannot go there and pursue it, so now he's doing it online from UT Austin. Again, these courses are also very good. And also I have just listed some of the keywords which are the designations, like data engineer, data analyst, data science, AI engineer. These are like different analytics role in the market. They differ from each other. They are not all same. But yeah, maybe after this call, if you find it interesting, you can find out more and then see that if there is any one specific role that interests you more than the other or something like that. And even if while updating your profiles or Naukri or any other job portal, use these keywords that you are looking for jobs in this area. Any I think this is almost the end of my presentation, so anybody has questions uh, before I move to the next slide? Yes, go ahead, Manvi.
Ma'am, actually, I also have done a 6-month duration training in data science and data analytics. And also, I applied every day on LinkedIn. But what I got, my resume is not got shortlisted. So, what are the keywords which we should highlight in our resume to get shortlisted?
You did 6 months course from where? Sorry, or training from where?
Ma'am, from Just Tech Creations in
Okay,
Vidi.
got it. Right, sir, got it. So I think for your profile, your this project which you have done specifically in machine learning or data science or analytics should be there on the top. You should have first of all have a summary, and then you should list your college that you're pursuing it, your engineering, and then also mention about this course. And the main keywords generally would be first of all the project, yeah, that you did there, right? And what value you were able to make. So if you would have seen CVs or some experience to someone, you will see like you did this analysis which helped, if not increasing the sales by X percentage, but something giving in numbers. So if you want, Madhvi, you can connect with me maybe on LinkedIn. I can reach out to you and I can maybe once review your CV.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, also for all of you on the call, have a skills section in your resume which mentions, okay, you know Python, you know SQL, or whatever language you are interested in, so that you can mention. Because mainly if a recruiter or a HR, they will just see if these keywords which are the language and all are mentioned in your CV. Any other question, guys, please? I thought I actually asked Rohit to have even non-CSIT folks on this call, because I feel for them, because if they don't want to go into hardcore coding, analytics is a very good field that they can explore. So if any questions around that anyone has, please feel free to ask.
So, like, ma'am, I have one question. I have heard that if you have the tag of TCS, then you cannot jump into big product-based company because it's a bad tag. I have heard that in one podcast. So, how are you familiar with that, and has that freaked you out?
Got it. So no, I don't agree to that. I totally agree that, again, as I mentioned earlier, journey can be very different from one person to another, but it a lot of it depends on you also, right? If you have done something very good in TCS, not all the projects are bad in TCS, right? If you are doing something really great, you will get. And if you are talented, for example, one of my batchmate Gaurav Sharma, who is currently working with Flipkart, he is TCS. He's SCDI pass out. He worked with TCS, and then he switched to I think Fab Hotels, and then now he's working as SD3 with Flipkart since many years, right? So he also switched to a product based company just after one jump from TCS. So just he is very talented, right? So if you're talented, you have got good projects to work into. I don't think so. TCS is a barrier. I really don't think so. But yeah, again, if somebody had said that, it would have been their experience. But yeah, according to me, it was not the case for me.
Ma'am, I have one more question.
Yep.
Like, machine learning experts tend to have more relationship with the mathematicians, like building algorithms. So how you interact with the mathematician, and how your present work depends on mathematics and algorithms?
Okay. So machine learning engineers need not to have relation with the mathematicians. It just the machine learning algorithms are written on maths. For to give you a very simple example, linear regression is one type of a machine learning algorithm. What it is? Y equal to mx plus c, right? If you keep on increasing the x, your m1, x1, m2, x2, it will have larger equations to say to. So you should know the maths. And what happens is, if you actually work on a company which you're working on a big machine learning project, data science project, even your stakeholders ask, okay, what was the value of this variable, what was the output, how was what the confusion metrics, what was the accuracy. So it's more of the small things which you will learn on the job. You need not to reach out to somebody else for anything until and unless you are building the algorithm. So that is like very high level. I sorry, I don't have any knowledge of that case wherein you are building an algorithm of your own. So like companies like Meta do that. uh,
Like,
they they have built their own time series model, for example. So yeah, but but I think for us it would be useful to know at least the basic maths, gradient descent, and all those things between the machine learning algorithm, and we are good. We need not to go into more than that. It's for now at least. Cool. If Are there any other questions? Would you
guys, I
like?
want to remind you that we have left with 10 minutes, so you can ask your question one by one.
Ma'am, I had a question. Ma'am, what is the role of data scientist or data analyst in a hackathon?
Got it. Got it. So, I'll tell you. For example, in Razorpay, we used to have this hackathon every year, like once in a year we have it. So everybody used to think that just because we are from analytics team, we cannot participate. But the things are changing now. As I mentioned, being as a senior analytics specialist in Razorpay, I also was able to build a data product of my own, right? So using analytics, you are there are like it has expanded so well now that you would be able to build a product of your own. I know to give a picture to your product, you need a UI developer or a Java backend one to present it in a, let's say, website or something else. But you can participate in hackathons. For example, uh, like these cases that I told you in industries is being used, right? uh, let's say you want to understand the how students behavior is changing in SATI, or the play you want to predict the placement scenario, right? These can be very good examples, but these are again more problem solving. But there are use cases wherein you can build a product out of data science, and especially when the time that Chat GPT API is now there, a lot of people are like building chatbots and things like that, which is a direct product which can be used to solve a problem in hackathon. I hope I answered it, Yash.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Manvi, go ahead.
Ma'am, like if we are training a model in medical fields, like we are making a prediction model for any disease. So in that case, we need to get a higher accuracy, like above than 98% and 97%. So sometimes we didn't get that accuracy. So what are the techniques we should use to get higher accuracy?
Got it, Manvi. So, I think, and even in my takeaway, it was one of the point. Focus a lot on the problem that you are trying to solve. Accuracy is a parameter, right? When you have built, let's say, you took 10 variables and you are now trying like cross validation. You are trying all the techniques to change the accuracy, but it's not changing. Then it's not machine learning. It's the business use case which is hindering that accuracy. Go back and see what problem you were trying to solve, what is the data that is still missing which can boost your accuracy. So this would be your first point that I would suggest that you should consider, is understanding the problem to more deeper sense, and seeing what other data you can collect, or how you can tweak your existing data, how you can create new variables from that data which can help you increase the accuracy. Once you are confident that your data set is correct, you've understood the problem statement, then you can go with, there are various techniques to increase the accuracy. As I mentioned about, one of them is cross k folds cross validation and things like that, that you can apply afterwards. You can google it and find it. But yeah, having that business sense will help you reach your targets. But if it's not increasing after that also, then you need to inform your stakeholder that nothing can be done, this is the maximum possible with what we have. Then they need to collect more data.
Yes, ma'am.
So actually, I also made this conclusion slide. As Manvi pointed out, I wrote this point three, wherein I really feel that it's in analytic. It's not just coding; it's your business skills also, which help you make that impact. Other than that, since I mentioned about my journey, that how I wanted to go into electrical field, but I could not, and I ended up into IT, and now I feel it happened for good. So if things don't go the way that you want, then just trust the process and just use upskill and try your best. And also keep your CV always updated, and even if you are not looking for jobs, still apply for jobs, because things take time. Even like if you are 2 years experience and then you think, okay, after 2 years I will switch, then start from today, start applying from today. Then only you will get to the point, okay, you feel now you have good offer, you have good compensation, and then you can leave that company. Also, the last point I want to give, like, it took me many years to reach where I am. I really worked at very low pay, as I mentioned in the start of my career, but I am now able to make it more than 15x of what I started with. So just have patience and keep hustling and keep upskilling yourself. This will help you reach wherever you want to go, or at least to a good position. I know there is no end goal. Life is a process, but yeah. Also, guys, I take sessions on TopMate. If you are interested, you can check out that. And also, I have, since I keep mentoring people, I have been mentoring people since a lot of time. So I have this LinkedIn group which I have created specifically for. Yeah, go ahead, Yash. Yeah. Do you have any question? Sorry, for the thumb.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, so I was mentioning, I have also created recently a LinkedIn group where I will be posting jobs specifically which are relevant to more like freshers and all, and other stuff related to analytics. So if you folks are interested, you can join this too.
So thanks, Jenny ma'am, for coming out to this session. I think this is the first session with you. Would you like to have more sessions with us in future?
Yeah, sure, sure. Sure. Maybe for the target audience, like if there are some of you who are interested specifically for understanding deeper into how analytics is used in banks or fintech, then we can have a deep dive session into that. But yeah, uh, depends on you folks what you people like to hear. We can have it.
Okay, ma'am. Any feedback for us, ma'am? How we can improve the engagement, interactivity in the community?
So I think I learned this when I joined Google. So in Google, we have a thing that for all the calls that we have to mandatorily keep our cameras on, and I think it helps, guys. So I know not all of you will be comfortable in that, but it give you that sense that okay, even for the speaker, it give that sense that okay, people are listening, right? Having these small things like camera on or asking more questions can make this session more helpful. And if you have some silly doubt, trust me, others will also have. Don't hesitate to ask even the silliest of it. It really helps you and even others. But the rest, Rohit, I think thank you so much for organizing this, and I think I feel very good interacting with the folks of my own college, and I really wish you all and land up to your dream jobs. Do reach out to me on LinkedIn, guys, if you have any other thing.
Ma'am, can you share your LinkedIn ID with us?
Yeah, quickly, I'll share just a second. Rohit, also make sure that the slide is being shared with everyone because there were certain links which I wanted to share with folks. Cool, guys, it's almost 6. If anybody has any other questions, or should we wrap up?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Ma'am, like it has been said to me that as you are a fresher, so you should not work in data analytics because they don't hire the freshers. You need experience on that. So, ma'am, like how can I work on that so that I get selected as a fresher?
Got it. So about this fact, I'm really not sure of. As I mentioned, I got this chance wherein I could learn SQL and then switch. So it may be true, it might not be the true considering the current scenario. But if as a fresher you want to get into a job into analytics, so first of all, try to do a project on data analytics. As I mentioned about Kaggle and Analytics Vidya, and Medium also is a good site. You can find some projects and do it very honestly, like wherein you are properly downloading the data, you're going through the objective, you're coding it the right way, and you can learn the basic Python and everything. You would be able to do it, so that the interviewer has something to ask to you of analytics, right? Do some business case studies, and then it's also important that you reach out to relevant people who are already working there, if they can add your referral, because I know for us campus placement I don't think so would be there for this particular field. So if there are any open or off campus or openings from where you can apply, so reach out to relevant seniors through LinkedIn, which can put your case in their company, right, once you have some projects or something to show to.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So thanks, Jeni ma'am, for joining.
Yep. Cool, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. See you all next time. Bye bye.
Thanks, ma'am.
Thank, thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your valuable insight and experience with us today. Your knowledge and expertise have provided us with a deeper understanding of data analytics and others. We are truly grateful for your time and for your being here with us. We are looking forward some more session with you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.